So Dr. Ashish was just asking whether I bought the 3D printer. I have not, but it is quite affordable. You can get a 3D printer for 17,000 rupees, and even lower, 12,000 rupees, you get a very basic model. You can get a 3D printer and start using it. It's cheaper than a smartphone, much cheaper than a smartphone, I would say. You can get a resin 3D printer, you can get an FDM 3D printer, learn a bit of 3D modeling on YouTube. You can also maybe learn some other things about artificial intelligence, software programming. All these things are available online. So let's start the talk. My talk is about the open source code of innovation. So you should realize that it is not opposite to patenting and all that. Like Dr. Prakyaj said, if you have an idea and you want to protect it, it is very important to patent it. And the patent just gives you the legal rights to it. You will have to run after it if you want to actually protect it. But suppose you don't want to make money out of it, you just want your name there. You can even, without going through the entire patent process, you can just publish it. So that is one option, so that your name is on there and you don't have to spend the time, effort, and money for the patent process. It depends on your outlook on what your idea is and what you want to use it for, and what you want other people to use it for. Financial disclosures, these are mine. And like Dr. Nilesh was talking about, you have to find your germinal idea and get it to the stage where you can use it. So there is a lot of things which you have to know about an idea. Idea is not something which is inherently valuable. You have to make sure that the idea is foolproof. You have to prove it. You have to make a concept. You have to make a proof of concept. You have to test it out and all those things. So once you have an idea and you want to share it with the world, you can do it open source. If it's a software idea, you can open source it. You can start getting help from different people who have the same mentality that you do a collaborative software, do an open source software. If you have a hardware idea, you can start designing something in CAD. You can put it on Thingiverse or any of the 3D design website, get other people to collaborate, and then you can share it. Make sure your name is there. You publish it in a reputed journal so that it is documented. If it is published, others cannot patent it. That is how the patent process goes. And all these terminologies are things we should know when you have an idea which you want to patent or open source. These are all things which are available if you just go through a beginner's course on YouTube about ideas. So what I'm talking about is closed innovation and open innovation. If it is a closed innovation, the idea is completely limited to a certain group of people. They will have their set mindsets. They may not get some additional ideas which could have improved the idea tremendously. So if you have it as an open innovation, even if you have it patented and have other people collaborating with you, your idea will become so much more. You will get ideas about things which you didn't even consider thinking about. You would not have thought, because you never came across that specific problem. So that is the advantage of open innovation. And of course, necessity is the mother of innovation, but laziness is often the father. You may not know who is the father sometimes, but laziness is often the father. The laziest people, the smart lazy people, that is whom you have to find. They will find a solution for everything because they are lazy. They don't want to do things the hard way. They will find an easy way and they will make it work. So earlier we would have all this knowledge limited to people who paid for it and went to a particular college, or you have to go to a particular person and learn from them. Now with the open access of the internet, everybody who wants to share is able to share. They make their own videos and articles and instruction courses and put it online. Same like this instruction course from the AIOS, we are putting it up on the AIOS website. So this information is available to whoever is looking for it. So that is what the current age is. If you want to share information, if you want to get information, you can find it. And this is how I went across with the 3D printing. I learned 3D printing by first going to YouTube and learning how to do 3D designing. Then we had access to a 3D printer and printed it. So these are some of my early designs. I'm not going through the whole thing, but this is the 3D printed glaucoma drainage device, because I had an idea that, okay, maybe if I make a valve this way, it might be better. So this helps you prototype the ideas. So learn 3D designing online and then go ahead. So let me go to the next slide. Okay, so another thing to know is that sometimes technology can cause problems. So you have to learn how to fix technology problems yourself. All this is not taught. You will have to learn by experience. So I'm going to restart the slide and go to, go to this particular thing. So this is Thingiverse. I had uploaded some of my designs on Thingiverse. So once you have these designs on Thingiverse, you have several people who are just having free time and the interest to look at these 3D designs. They will look at these things, and if they feel that they want to collaborate, they will contact you. They will use this design, they'll add their modifications, ultimately creating something much better than you thought was even possible. This is the website for my Thingiverse account. And this is another interesting thing which we did. We had, I was a faculty in Ramchandra Medical College, Chennai for 2 years, and we had MBBS students who were a bit tired of the ophthalmology classes. So I taught them 3D printing, artificial intelligence. So they used to always come for my clinical classes because I used to teach them something other than what they taught in MBBS. And they came to me and said, "Sir, let's do a project." And they came up with this idea to do a 3D printed punctal plug. And they went on YouTube, learned how to do 3D designing. And I didn't know because I didn't have an iPad at the time. They downloaded an app on iPad. They did the design on that. They came to me and said, "Sir, we made this design. How do we proceed?" We had a 3D printer in the dental college. I went there and got them access to the 3D printer. We printed it. And that has gone very well. They are now published it also. All this can be done on this 17,000 rupees printer. And I think they're getting a printer now. So that is very, very easy for people with the interest to learn and do all these things. And GitHub is for open source software. If you have access to people with the knowledge to do these, you can just collaborate with them and do the softwares for things. YouTube is the university of YouTube is where you get all these things. These are several apps that I have done. Again, learn from YouTube. I think this was not only YouTube. This I started when I was in school. So that was, I had access to some library books which I used to take and start typing and learning all these things. Then of course I went to the view source code of website and started learning from there. This is all some games which I made from C++ and some apps which I made with Java, J2ME, Java 2ME, and HTML and CSS and JavaScript. These are some 3D printed objects. This is from Arvind Pondicherry that I learned that we could do this. And this is about one of my latest innovations, which is a foldable fundascope. Same thing, I had an idea. We can have something which is ultra portable, have it in our pocket, because I had this problem where they had access to a smartphone fundus camera, but they were too lazy to carry it around. I wanted them to go to the wards, go to the casualty. When they have a doubt on something with the fundus, I want them to take a fundus photo and bring it. They don't do that. They keep it in the OPD. So I want them to have something in their pocket that they can carry. So that is what I did. Develop this fundus camera, which is basically folding onto itself. 3D printing helped to make a prototype, and that is how it is. So thank you to all the institutions where I learned, and thank you to our instruction course chief and all the co-innovators who are promoting this idea of innovations. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I know you have to run for another IC, so we will won't have discussion.
Okay.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah, because